These are the Netflix Top 10 Original Series 2017, so these are series that Netflix particularly owns or runs at the current point. I've been able to cover most of them through Netflix, which has been great. And if you'd like to read a more in-depth thought or reviews on these, you can see them from the description below. So first up at number 10, we have Ozark, which is in its first season this particular year. Within the show, it's about a family, and they have been sent to the Ozarks area, and they need to launder money. The family doesn't know this, but the father, played by Jason Bateman, does, because he runs part of the money for a cartel, and somebody was skimming off the top, which is not great. Things go bad. He gets sent here with a impossible task. It's very dark, very adult-like, and it's a really, really well done show. Number 9, The Defenders. This was not liked by everyone, but as a Marvel fan, I enjoyed it. The part where the crew gets together is definitely the strongest of all the season. It is a bit of a slow build-up. They're trying to show some characters, and it didn't quite come together as it should have, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. You've already invested so much time if you watch the other properties within the Netflix DC, such as Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage, and you see them and all their side characters that help build up their universes together in this. Think of it as the Avengers, but on the smaller screen. Number 8 is Santa Clarita, which is a fun zombie show. It ends abruptly, which is disappointing, but it was really funny and rather enjoyable. Drew Barrymore is this mother that becomes a zombie, and then the family kind of learns what's happening, and then they have to take out people, and it's really, really well done and quite funny. I won't say too much as to spoil anything, but she becomes a zombie, and they need to deal with that. Number 7, The Punisher. Now this is the most least Marvel show or property available in the MCU right now. That's not a bad thing, because it's actually kind of visceral and intense. It is a slow build up to get to that point, but it is worth it once you get into the intense action. He could have done more punishing. I thought it was good. There's no real superheroes. The stakes are not high, and that's good because it's more of an intimate story about him and continuing his progression after he was in the Daredevil as a kind of buddy in that system and just showing up there, but now he gets his own separate series, which is great. 6 is Mystery Science Theater 3000. Bit of a weird choice, I'm sure. Someone might have wanted something else. I loved it. It was fun. I had never watched it before, like the Riff Tracks or the Mystery Science Theater from the past. So basically they watch these really old, terrible films, and they just make fun of them the entire time. It's this guy gets stuck on this moon. It's got Felicia Day and Patton Oswalt as the evil people. They were good. There's some musical elements to it. Anyways, the guy's got a bunch of robots, and basically they just make fun of old crappy movies, and it's fun. It's entertaining. As someone that likes film, I enjoy watching it because you kind of see them a little bit critique it too, so you kind of see the bad points about really terrible films, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Number 5, Wet Hot American Summer 10 Years Later. I love the movie. I love the last show. I think it's just a big joke, and it's fun. They have this huge ensemble of comedians, basically from when they were young. They were all together, and then it sort of grew on Netflix later on. They revived it. And this is a nice conclusion to everything that they've been working towards. It's very much a comedy. Expect a string of cameos, hilarious moments. It's really out there when it tries to do stuff, and I feel that it works. And it's fun, and it's just a really easy thing to watch. I don't know if I want more afterwards, but at this point, this last sort of series really ties it all together. Number 4 is American Vandal. I was very, very surprised at this. It's a documentary, but more of a mockumentary, where they're trying to find out who drew dicks on cars as a vandal. They have this one kid pinned, but then these other 2 kids are like, this does not come together properly. And then they do a whole serious documentary over a series of episodes on this Netflix show, trying to figure out what's happening. And the way they twist and turn things and make it all a conspiracy was really, really creative. I'm looking forward to its 2nd season, which already got announced. I don't know where they're going to go, but I thought this was a really interesting and well done idea. It's played very, very serious, which is perfect. 3 is Bojack Horseman in its latest season. Bojack is coming off of the worst situation he's ever been, and then things look up. You have a possible daughter coming into the fold. You've got characters growing and changing. And I felt that the show still really holds strong in this later season. If you know Bojack, you you've probably watched it. If you haven't, you should jump in because it's a great animated series with perfect characters that deal with heavy sets of depression and so forth. 2 is a series of unfortunate events. This is Lemony Snicket's book series. Put in TV, they tried a movie with Jim Carrey. It didn't work. But this series is wonderful. If you read the books, it's perfect. It's just like, it's got a very CGI look to it, but it's supposed to because that's the aesthetic of like the mind and what you think about when you actually read the books, because the books are very twisted. They're not exactly realistic, but they are. And you go through these wonderful worlds and you meet these crazy people that try to take care of these orphans and the story behind it. It's just really, really, really well done. Olaf is perfect in this. The cast is well done. They're young enough. And if they keep going strong with this, I think it'll be the perfect adaptation of the series. I love it. I think you should definitely check it out. It's well worth your time. Number 1 is Stranger Things 2, which is the second season of Stranger Things. This continues the events of the first. Characters return, things get developed, you get more of a backstory here. It should be well known to almost everyone. I hadn't personally watched the first season, and I just jumped in for the second because I thought, I might as well review it because it's such a big deal. And I was instantly captured. It's so good, so exciting. It's very dark and gory, and they don't hold back, which is fantastic. The young cast is great. It takes place in the 80s. It's just really well done and enjoyable, especially if you like that time period, which is like all the rage all the time, it seems, these days, and it's really well done. That's my top 10 Netflix original series for 2017. Other mentions go to Godless or Kimmy Schmidt in this latest season. Those are both enjoyable, and I'm sure there's others that I missed, so let me know if I was totally wrong here. But I feel this is a pretty varied list, and it does show off a number of things. And again, if you want more Netflix reviews or other information, you can check out the site in the description below.